The next requirement that I'll speak to is a logical and consistent method for the allocation of indirect costs or expenses to intermediate and final cost objectives. Interestingly enough, the standard form 1408 does not make mention of the capability of calculating indirect rates, but a purpose-built accounting system will give you that capability, and effectively what that enables you to do is loop through the chart of accounts and calculate your indirect rates for each of your indirect tiers, and those again are fringe benefits, overhead, and general and administrative expenses. So the requirement is not to calculate your indirect rates, but to allocate your indirect rates. So I will demonstrate what that looks like. I'll run a process here called indirect cost allocation. So I can select a range of contracts and task orders. This is a job order accounting system for purposes of allocating indirect rates. So in the press of a button, it's done. So effectively what the net result of that is it takes your indirect burdens, and we'll use burdens interchangeably with rates. So if I run a job ledger, I'll illustrate what the effect of that is. And this is what they're looking for specifically with that requirement, the logical and consistent method of allocating indirect rates. And consistency is part of the cost accounting standards. So I'm going to go ahead and run this report. And there's the effect. So you have the contract, type of contract. We're using actual rates, indirect rates, that is to say, for purposes of burdening this particular contract. So I see my inception to date totals. Inception to date means contract to date. Got 255 hours of labor. There's the dollar amount associated with this, and this is cost, not revenue. And you see the burden, again, that word for fringe benefits. You'll see your other direct costs. You'll see an allocation of overhead and general administrative expenses to give you a full cost ledger. These totals, you'll see the percentage of each adds up to 100%. So that is the effect of the allocation of indirect costs to your contracts